Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 6986 Southwest Ottawa Street here in Tualatin. We're located at the rear of the home. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running, and there is standing water right off the bat here, right around the cleanout. We'll check that out on the way back when we drain the line out completely. Transitions here at 75 feet over to 6-inch concrete pipe. And here at 109 feet, we've reached the main. I'm going to do locates to verify where we ended up at, and then we'll let the line drain out here for a few minutes. I located the camera head successfully. It looks like the line essentially does a straight shot across the backyard, all the way to the other side of the house. We're basically crossing from the left side to the right side, and the line ends up terminating at the main lateral out on the side street, the one directly to the right of this home, if you're looking at the front of the house. And that would be going out to Southwest 70th Avenue. Now, it looks like the line's still draining. We're going to give it a few more minutes to drain out. My main focus here is about the first third of the line, about the first 40 feet or so. that's where we're seeing kind of some consistent standing water. Some of it was significant, some of it not so significant, but if you've got one big giant continuous stretch of standing water, even if it's not a ton of water, it can be as significant as having a short stretch of pipe with a lot of water in it. It's all about just how much resistance is being put on that debris coming down the line. And that's the concern, is it will cause any debris coming down the line hits that standing water and it can stop up there and start building up. Alright, the line's pretty much all drained out at this point here. I'm going to go ahead and start drilling back. Now it's right around 51 feet here where we start to see that standing water. In this area here, it's very minimal. This is only like a 32nd of an inch. There's so little water there that it's not even taking up the entire width of the flow line. So that stuff is, in my opinion, not worth correcting at all. Anyway, we'll keep our eye out here to make sure it doesn't get a whole lot deeper than that. The most concerning part of the line here is right off the bat. There's about 1.5 inches of standing water there at least. So a similar situation here. We do have some standing water, but that's, I mean, it's between a 32nd and a 1/16 of an inch of water. It's very, very minimal. Now this joint here is showing signs of separation. You can see how far apart those two pieces of pipe there are. You might still have fernco securely around the joint on the outside of the pipe. I'm trying to look up into the top of it to see if you can see any ground. We don't have that great of a view of it, unfortunately. There's a little dangly thing sticking down from the top of that. I don't see any plants whatsoever back here, so I can pretty much guarantee you that's not any root there. It looks like excess pipe glue or something of that nature that's just kind of stuck there. Could be cobweb, could be human hair, or something like that. You can, down the flow line there, it looks like we've got kind of some debris buildup over the top of the rubber fern coat. So as far as I can tell, this joint is still sealed off, but when I look at the top there, I can start to see more space between the pipes. So it's, anyway, out of technicality, I'm going to recommend a repair on this one. It's a very hard call, but I do recommend a repair as it has separated, and what we can't tell is if that joint still has a fern coat securely around it, keeping it sealed off from the ground or not. Yeah, located and marked this spot here in the backyard. We're at 3 feet deep there. It's marked with a white X. Again, I recommend repairing that joint. At this time, it's not affecting the flow. My concern there is it could be open to the ground, which can lead to issues in the future, especially if you're getting any water escaping the line there. Now, this is where the standing water becomes more significant here. At this spot right here, we have about a 1/2 inch of water. And then right here, right at the very beginning of the line, we have quite a lot more. This is getting close to 2 inches of standing water here. I'm going to scope backwards into the house real quick. Let's see what that looks like. Now we have standing water that goes back into the house here a little bit. It might not be quite into the foundation, or it might be smack dab underneath the foundation where the standing water stops at. Anyway, that belly there it spans about the 2 feet, roughly 2 feet on either side of the clean out here. So I recommend correcting that. It's a significant amount of standing water. You've got a pretty close to 2 inches of water here. And in total, it's for about 5 feet, and you have a turn right at the end of it. And then that it's less standing water, but that standing water does continue around the turn here as it tapers off. So, and then we have another belly here at about 9 feet. And this one again has a 1/2 inch of water. At that point there, it's actually closer to 3/4 of an inch. It's almost to the top of the camera lens. And that one's about a 3-foot section. And then at 15 feet, this is where we have our separated joint. So because we've got issues spanning that whole section there from basically the foundation wall of the house out to 15 feet, I recommend redoing this whole section of the pipe here. There's no reason to, I mean, you could spot repair it. You talk to the repair guys about that, but often it's cheaper and easier just to correct the whole section at once. So this spot's already marked with a white X. I'm going to try and locate these turns and everything. This is a fairly easy one to figure out, though. Alright, we're just about back to the clean out. My last marking, and we're only about 2.5 feet deep there. My last marking will be right up against the foundation. I recommend showing the video to the repair guys so they understand that the belly starts before the clean out. It looks like it starts just inside the crawl space or possibly right under the foundation wall. That standing water persists for almost 2 feet going back towards the house and about 3.5 feet on the other end. I recommend repairing all that from essentially the foundation wall out to 15 feet. I recommend a rescope afterwards to ensure that it was done properly. But here's our clean out here in the backyard. It's all under gravel. It comes out, heads that direction, and then shoots across the backyard, and that X there is where the repair ends. And it's about 2 to 3 feet deep across the whole repair. The rest of the line's in good shape and functioning properly at this time.